Hey and welcome. I'm Laura Live Namasturm Yoga. Join me for a short Yin Yoga practice. Welcome. So today we're going to do a Yin Yoga practice, which is a slow and stretchy style. My usual style is vinyasa, which is a little more athletic and vigorous, but every once in a while I like to offer a slower class where we can kind of really focus on our breath, get a little deeper into some stretches, just as a counterpoint to the vinyasa style. Yin Yoga is going to target not only our muscles, but things like our connective tissue, joints, tendons, ligaments. It's not going to activate our muscles. We're really just going to try to let go and give in to each pose. I'll do some explanation as we go from pose to pose, but I'll try to keep talking a little bit to a minimum so that you can really focus on your own breath. You might choose to work with a mantra here as well, if that's something that you like to practice with. And so let's just go into it. Our first pose is going to be dangling. We're going to come to our feet, so you can uncross your legs if you were sitting with me. Have your feet about hip distance apart, and then keep the knees real soft, but let the legs straighten somewhat so your upper body can just hang. It's okay if the hands are on the floor or if they're, hanging in the air. If you want, you can grab your elbows. And we're really just trying to let go in the upper body here, let go of the neck. Keep the knees soft and focus on your breath. If you feel it's appropriate, you can gently straighten the backs of the legs, but don't force that to happen. Move your feet to the top of your mat, and we're going to step the right foot back, lower the right knee down, and we're coming into Dragon Pose, which is basically a low lunge, but we're going to lower the upper body to the ground. Walk the left foot a little bit further open so your left shoulder can drop inside the knee. Keep your left knee over your ankle, and then see if you can start to maybe lower down to your forearms. You could also prop your forearms here with a block or a book if they don't quite come to the ground. And then just let the upper body, the head, the chest, sink towards the floor. In this practice, we're going to be holding poses for between 2 and 3 minutes. So just let yourself continue to give in as you breathe. Bring your weight back to your hands. We're going to go to the other side, so we're actually just going to walk ourselves over to the other leg, having the right foot in front and the left knee down. Dragon side 2. Knee over ankle, dropping the shoulder inside the knee. You can be on your hands if that's as deep as your body is able to go today. But you may notice that as you spend time in any of these poses, you can let go a little bit more, a little bit more. If it starts to get too intense, you can always back out as well, so it's up to you. But the idea is to just do less and get out of your own way here. Let gravity do all the work for you. And bring yourself up with your hands. We're going to move to Swan Pose. We're going to stay on the same side. So we're just going to walk that right foot across the mat and then let the knee lower down. As much as you can, have your shin parallel with the front edge of the mat, but avoid rocking all your weight to the right hip. So you can start upright with the hands supporting your upper body. This is Swan. Or you can start to fold down into Sleeping Swan, which is similar to what we would consider like a pigeon stretch in a hatha yoga or a vinyasa yoga class. Take weight with your arms if you need it, but gradually just let that upper body give in as you find that stretch. Breathe. And just a quick note, this should not be painful for your knee. If your knee is giving you trouble, you can tuck your heel closer to your body, or you can even come to your back for what we would do for a modified version of a pigeon stretch. Coming up, we're going to switch sides. So like we did before, we're just going to kind of roll over to this left. So you can kind of come through center, right leg behind you, moving that left shin across the mat. Come off of your left hip and then fold down. Make sure you're breathing. Again, you can stay upright if that feels more appropriate to you. If you want to go more into the stretch and let go a little bit more, allow yourself to lower down. So if we were doing like a more vigorous movement-based class with the standing poses, these types of poses would usually come at the end of a practice after bodies are really warm. In Yin, we practice a little more cold, and that allows us to connect to some of the tissue I was talking about, like the connective tissue, tendons and ligaments and things like that, as opposed to just stretching muscle. And that's why we spend so long in these poses. It's long and slow because we need to give our bodies time to experience each pose and find a little bit of gentle release. Bringing yourself up, we're going to move to Sphinx Pose. So we're just going to take that left leg behind us now and lower our hips and belly to the floor. Support yourself with your arms or forearms, elbows under shoulders. So we're going to use our arms a little bit in this pose. You can slightly think of pulling the elbows back towards the hips, but then we want to just swag or sway our upper body, like from our neck to our navel. So it just feels like there's a draping happening with the chest. As you want to go deeper, what we're going to do is actually root the hands into the floor and straighten up the arms and come up into seal pose. And then you can start to move the hands just a little closer to your body. So the arms are working a little bit, but then there's just this sense of sagging from your neck to your navel. You can also drop the head if that would feel good for you to do. Relax your legs and glutes behind you. And now let's just drop back for a short child's pose. Lift your hips, widen your knees if you want to. Bring your hips to your heels and let your forehead come to the floor. Next, we're going to go into saddle pose. So we want to bring the knees together, but let the feet go wide enough that we can sit between them. If you cannot get your hips fully to the floor, you may choose to put a block or a book or a blanket between them so that your sit bones can actually rest. You can stay upright if you like, or if you want to go a little deeper, you can start to walk your upper body back, maybe resting on forearms, puffing up your chest and letting your head fall back. Or if your hips are all the way to the floor, you may be able to lower down fully, letting the back of the body rest on your mat. And carefully bring yourself up. Now we're going to take the legs out wide into a straddle position. And then we're going to keep the legs really relaxed. We're going to move or fold towards the right leg. So just let yourself start to fold down, sinking down into a forward fold. But we're not going to engage the quad or flex the foot. We're not going to try to pull with our hands or anything like that. Rather, just let the hands walk out, let the upper body drape down over the leg, and give up the weight of your torso. Again, let gravity do all the work for you. No effort here, just giving in. So come on up and we're just going to change sides. So moving as simply and gently as you can. Now let your torso lean towards the left leg and sink down. If you ever notice you have a tendency to try to kind of grip or pull to deepen, just notice it and then try to let go. Ease up, release. All right, walk the hands in, come up, and we're gonna go straight down the middle. This is also sometimes called Dragonfly Pose. Let your hands come out in front of you and then just lean in. Some of you may find you can really easily, naturally get your head to the floor. If not, but it's coming close, you could put something under your head to prop it so that you can really relax your neck. So a block or a blanket, or you could even stack up your fists and put your forehead on those stacked fists. If your head is not near the floor though, don't worry. You can still relax the neck and just let it hang down. If you feel like you can go deeper in moments, you can walk the hands out, allow the chest to drop to the floor. But again, avoid pulling yourself deeper into the pose and avoid fidgeting or trying to adjust other than where as you need to go deeper or to come out of it if it gets too intense. Let's breathe. and coming up. Now we're going to move to the floor, to our backs. So find a way to lower down. Bring the knees into the chest, and we're just going to do a simple supine twist. So with the arms out, or wherever you like them, let the knees first drop to the right, but let your head turn back to the left. And we will switch sides. So take your time, bringing the knees back through center, and then gently letting them fall to the left, turning your head now to the right. And then from here, untwist, lengthen the legs out, tuck the shoulders underneath the upper body, let the arms open with the palms up, and relax for a few moments in Shavasana. Now take your time here. If you want to spend 5 or 10 minutes in corpse pose, please feel free to do so, really releasing the weight of your body to the floor, just giving it all up to gravity and letting go. When you're ready to close, take your time coming up. And I'll end this practice with you, just with a simple bow forward and acknowledgement. So the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you, wherever you are. Thank you so very much for joining me today and sharing in this practice. Namaste. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this yin practice today. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I do hope that you will. And then join me again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.